Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another rendition of the Bros in the Berg podcast. To all of our returning listeners and watchers, we appreciate you coming back. To all of our new listeners, my name is Ryan Doyle, the co-host on this lovely show. God, the man in the master's hat. That's my other co-host, Mr. Robert Bergstone, and the man in the glasses, looking cute as always. That's my younger brother, executive producer. Sends us podcast outlines and notes, and then we show up and do the exact opposite of what he writes on that page.
It's pretty accurate, actually.
I win the weekly award of least prepared, so I'll take that.
Which
and
is
I'll own that.
Maybe the first time in the history of this.
Yeah, I'm usually more prepared than Ryan. This is true.
And they're like, the bar for me being prepared is so low that this counts as like top 3 prepared that I've ever been for this podcast.
My notes are usually like, I don't have Word on this computer because I don't use it for work.
Mm-hmm.
So I use like the Notepad app in Microsoft, like the really basic one, and that's where most of my notes are for this podcast when I come in quote unquote prepared. So you're doing better than I am.
For our audio listeners, when Ryan said this, he held up just a sticky note with some scribbles on it.
I'm not even sure it was English, to be honest. Like, it didn't look like it.
And the bottom half of the sticky note is the only thing that actually has my notes. The top half is like different flights that I'm looking at to be taking. Like it's not even a complete post-it note of like podcast notes.
Where are you flying to? You don't need to fly anywhere.
This is for going to England in next spring.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr.
JP Morgan be paying for my flights, brother. Make it, you're
all right, we're going to get into it. Robbie, as always, we like to start with our parlays because a lot of the time, some of our legs are happening pretty quickly. And so we have to get into the parlays.
We're on a time crunch tonight.
Exactly.
Because as we're rapidly learning, you cannot bet on individual players for a baseball game the following day. You can only bet on them during that day. So in this time of the year, it's very hard for us to make parlays when we're recording it at night and all the baseball's already been played. But anyways, for our current stats in terms of units, Ryan is down 3 units, over 3.
This is why I don't gamble.
Connor is up 3.5 units.
There we go.
Also missed last week. And then I am up 2 units, also missed last week. So as a unit, because we did hit the one bet that Connor hit, we're up 3.5 units. So we're still up right now, guys. We can rebound right here. We can make something happen.
I'm feeling good this week, gentlemen. I'm liking what I got going this week. It's a little out there.
If you like it so much, go ahead and throw it at us, Connor.
I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. I got a 3-legger as always. My number 1 is probably the least crazy out of the 3 of these. It's a baseball game that's about to get started here. The Atlanta Braves, the Oakland Athletics. I have the Atlanta Braves covering 1.5 against
the bold bet. The Braves are so bad.
Yeah, but the A's are like the A's.
They lost like 10-1 2 nights ago to the A's.
I know, but I'm just feeling better.
I was like getting ready for bed. I was like in a good mood, ready to go to sleep. And then like I have Apple Sports on my phone that gives me live updates on the Braves score. And I saw it was 10-1 and I couldn't fall asleep. I was so angry.
I think
to the
fair.
A's?
In
Sacramento in a minor league park, we're losing 10-1?
But this is what I'm saying. This isn't going to happen again. I'm feeling good about that, and that's probably one of the safer ones. So here we go. Number 2, we're already getting a little freaky here. We're throwing it over to tennis, to Wimbledon, if you will.
Insanity.
It's the Fritz and Alcaraz match. You ready for this? Taylor Fritz does not win at least one set. I don't think he wins a single set. That's against Alcaraz.
Is that how many? What's the odds on
it? Was
that?
It was only plus 180, I believe. Was
Alcaraz is really good.
Yeah, Alcaraz is the best in the world by a
I also have a Tinsel, so I was doing research into their head-to-head history.
Yeah.
They've played 2 times, and Alcaraz has won in straight sets both times. However, it's not a major, so that is only best 2 out of 3 versus in a major is 3 out of 5 for the men.
Yeah,
but he has won in straight sets both times against France.
And it's going to happen again. And I'm so confident. Here's my 3rd leg. The one that I feel the least confident about.
Let me see it.
Throwing it over to the Pirates game. I believe that's taking place. I can't remember if it's tonight or tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow. But it's Corbin Carroll and Manny Machado, Ryan's favorite MLB player. I think they both combine for 3+ hits. I think one of them gets 2 hits, and I think one of them gets 1 hit. And that's for a total of plus 808. That 3-legger parlay right there. I think that's my highest odds that I've put forth in the podcast history of us doing parlays so far.
Why are
So
the
yeah,
Pirates playing?
It's not. It's the Diamondbacks and Padres.
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
You said Corbin Carroll,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah, I
when
was like,
did
where
he
are the-
get to
when
the
did the
Pirates?
Yeah, when did the
Padres.
Pirates
Sorry,
get-
I always do that. I always say Pirates instead of Padres. I don't know why I do that. Yes, sorry about that. And yeah, like I said, that parlay is plus 808 for that 3-legger right there.
Okay.
Who wants to go next?
I would love to go next.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Let's break up the monotony of these like tennis bets that we know nothing about, and we're just throwing. I make it real easy for you, gentlemen.
Okay.
We got a Friday baseball parlay. Everyone loves Friday baseball, and we got a run line. We got an over. We got an under. I mean, it's keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, since I'm down 3 units, we got to go back to the basics.
Yeah, facts.
I appreciate.
We just got to go back to the basics. So we're gonna start with the definition of a bet. That is, you're going to stop beating the horse when it stops spitting out money. Paul Skeens is on the mound again for the Pirates tomorrow. They're playing the Minnesota Twins. The line is 7, and we're hammering the under because the Twins are throwing out a guy who's got an ERA sub 3 themselves. I don't know how this line's at 7. We're going on the under. That's easy.
That's a good bet. I like that.
We're going to go to the Rangers and Astros tomorrow as well. This is going to be the first game back in Texas after all of the crazy flooding. They're donating a ton of money. This game's like pretty much like a giant fundraiser. There's going to be fireworks. The over is hitting. I'm taking over 8 runs for the Rangers and Astros tomorrow. And then my last leg is in my own backyard. Cincinnati on Friday night games. They're like, I think they've only lost 1 on the year so far. They're hosting the Rockies. When Cincinnati is playing, like when Cincinnati wins, they win by more than 1 run. They've done it all these last 2 months, so I'm taking them to cover the 1.5 run line, and that is sitting at a plus 552 for the 3-leg parlay.
Very nice. All baseball. We're locked in.
Yeah, I don't dislike any of that.
For my parlay, I have one of the games that Connor talked about, the Braves playing the they still technically are the Oakland A's playing in Sacramento.
Sure.
I have Jerks and Profar 2+ bases tonight. Against the pitcher from the Athletics. He's batting .500 for his career. Like him to get 2+ bases there. I'll go to my other baseball one next, talking about beating a dead horse. Tarek Skubal is on the mound for the Tigers tomorrow. He also has come through for us in the past, taking the under 7 runs in the Mariners and Tigers game there. And then for my tennis bet, I don't know why I think this, but I just do, and I have no stats to back it up. But I feel like when you get into these rounds of Wimbledon, if you have a very good player like Alcaraz playing in one of these semifinal matches, the first set always seems to be like a really tight set, right? They come out, it's like 7-6, whatever. They go to a tiebreaker, all of those things in the first set. So I'm going to take over 9.5 games in the first set of Fritz and Alcaraz tomorrow.
Okay.
Meaning it has to be like 6-4, 7-5, 7-6, something like that.
Yeah, I think Alcaraz dog walks him. To be totally honest, I just don't think it's even close. I think
I told you I looked at the stats, Connor. I looked at the stats.
I hear you.
Like I said, they've played 4 total sets against each other. Alcaraz has won every one. Half of those were over 10 games, though.
Have they had a lot of history on grass?
I don't know that they've ever played.
What are we doing?
They don't play on anywhere, like they don't play on grass outside of Wimbledon, really.
True.
So no, it was. I believe the other ones were probably both. I can't remember. There's not clay. It's the artificial, like the U.S. Open is, like the kind of normal tennis court. So
what is not rubber? What is it called? It's like.
Dude, we are casual.
We're out of the bag. There's no tennis.
We're not tennis. We don't cover tennis. Wait, it's grass, clay. Hold on, yeah, I gotta know. What is it? Cement?
Hard court.
Yes, like cement. Yeah.
Hard. That's right.
Court, yeah. Okay, that's right. I was like tripping for a second. So Robbie, what was the total? What was the total odds in your parlay?
That is a little bit lower as well as plus 479.
Okay, so that's actually, I thought it was going to be higher than that. So mine is clearing away, obviously, the long shots, some specific stuff there. I do like, Ryan hasn't hit one yet. We do have to take that in consideration.
We also haven't taken one of mine yet. Just going to throw that out there.
That's true. but I kind of don't like yours.
Yeah,
I don't like you.
It goes completely against what he thinks is going to happen.
That is true.
Therefore,
That is
you're an idiot.
I feel like we take Ryan's because Ryan has like the backing of like they're playing for the flood in the parlay. You know,
True.
always,
I like that. Well, we said
like
he was due last week, and he wasn't due. So
you get one
he's got to
more
be
week.
due this week.
No, I'm 100%. If I don't cash this, I'm banned for 4 weeks.
Yeah, no, we just can't we can't take your parlay until you
Yeah.
hit one. If you don't hit this week, we'll take yours.
I'm on timeout.
You're on timeout until you hit one. I think that's fair.
It's super fair. Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That. All right, so we'll take Ryan's.
Is Connor gonna Venmo me this time?
I will. I'll Venmo you this time.
Are we doing 5 this time?
We'll do 5 this time.
Yeah, let's do 5.
Oh boy, I have to put another $50 in my DraftKings.
All right, we are going to get into our next thing. You know, I've been having a lot of fun, and I think these guys have been having fun too with some of the blind rankings we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of coaches. We did the NFL coaches. We did college football coaches last time, which, the NFL one definitely went better than the college football one. You know, Dan Lanning ended up at 1. I don't know how that happened. But
we're a Dan Lanning podcast now, apparently.
Tough to see.
But we're going to do NBA head coach blind rankings. And it's going to be the same thing. These two gentlemen are going to alternate. It's going to be 10 names, NBA head coaches. It's going to be a blind rank. You know, first time we started with Robbie, last time we started with Ryan. So we're going to start with Robbie once again. 10 names. Here's your first one, Robbie. Doc Rivers.
Man, we're just coming out
Just
fucking swinging, bro. Holy.
Absolutely. That's what I do best.
Just to clarify again, we're
an NBA ranking them coach.
on a career, on just.
This is a good clarifying question for Doc Rivers.
Yes,
that's a fair point.
I would say, to me, where you're ranking them is like, would you want them as the head coach of your team right now? Is the way I think about it.
Okay.
Because I think part of that is historical success, and some of it is also recent success.
Okay, sure. We'll do that. If you would, how you would want them as a coach now.
Okay.
Might be a little disrespectful, but Doc Rivers as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
There it is.
Has been terrible. I mean, just abysmal.
Yeah.
Like, they've done nothing. They've gotten nowhere. I'm going to put him at 6 right now.
Oh, wow.
For
Doc in the bottom 5. Wow.
For the league leader in career wins, he's not even.
That's only because Pop retired. Okay,
I know,
but and here's the thing about NBA career wins: there's no professional sports league outside the NBA that likes to retry coaches over and over again.
I will give you that.
Mark Jackson just got hired again to be the coach of the Knicks. Like, are you kidding?
Run it back.
All you have to do is be an NBA head coach for like 1 year. And then you get to like automatically coach for like 10 plus seasons. It doesn't really matter how bad you are. Like, maybe they'll figure it out. So
it's like you're somehow like tenured.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
All right, Ryan. Next name, JJ Redick.
Is he the coach?
Well,
that is a fair question,
right? Like, let's be honest with ourselves.
I mean, they were the 3 seed in the West last year, which is pretty impressive.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Obviously, very early into his coaching career.
Yeah.
Like Robbie just said, had a good season last year, but also is coaching King Glorious James, lay GM, if you will. Yeah. He's got a lot of promise. There's a couple of guys that I would put below him that are just like, you need to retire. Like you talked about the NBA coaching carousel, but he's way too early for me to put him too high. I'm going to put him at 8.
I think that's fair. I mean, certainly better than, Darvin Ham, but, still pretty unproven.
Whoa. Disrespect my man's Darvin Ham. Okay.
It's awful. All right, Robbie, your next name on the list, Ime Udoka.
Great coach.
Yeah.
Fantastic coach.
Agreed.
I and like, this is working out because I'd much rather have Ime than either of the two guys that we've talked about so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put him at...
Where's he throwing him?
4.
Okay.
I was between 3 and 4. Hasn't really won anything of note.
Yeah. I think that's fair. But obviously significantly better at developing the younger guys than the previous Houston Rockets.
For sure.
Coaches.
Yeah.
Ryan, next name on the list, Jason Kidd. Yep.
He's been better than I thought he would when we first hired him.
Sure.
I will give him that. Like, in my mind, when we went from Carlisle to Kidd, it was very much like we're like going with another like recently retired floor general. Like, I don't know how this is going to work out. Sometimes I question his rotations. Sometimes I question who gets minutes. Like, he makes a lot of questionable decisions sometimes with that, but like as a locker room guy, and obviously like being a Hall of Famer himself, like he's very well respected. I just think sometimes he makes some dumb head coaching decisions.
Sure.
And Robbie put me in a fucking bind because I really don't think that he's better than Doc, but like putting J Kidd at 7 is a little rough as well. I'll put him.
I just don't know 5. Would you want Doc Rivers to be the head coach of your NBA team right now?
No, I would rather have Kidd than Doc for sure.
That's
But I feel like it is disrespectful to Doc to put him at 6. Like,
that's fair. Has Robbie created another Ryan Day situation?
Very possible. Yeah.
We have 7, 9, and 10 open, and 1, 2, and 3.
2 and 3.
We're cooked. I better see Spoelstra in the next 2 coaches, or I'm going to lose it.
All right, Robbie. Next name on the list: Joe Mazzulla.
Again, another fantastic coach. We're gonna put Mazzulla at 2. I think is the right call here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could think about 1. 2 feels right.
All right, we'll put him at 2 there. Next coach, Ryan. Steve Kerr.
Oh.
Here we go.
He's 1 or 3.
Correct.
He's certainly not 7, 9, or 10.
He's certainly not 7, 9, or 10.
Who's coming next is the question.
That is the question.
I mean, Connor's going to throw us like a fucking bum. I am very much expecting.
There's still some bums out there that we haven't gotten to yet.
I'm expecting like Chauncey Billups to make an appearance at some point. Charles Lee, I think is a lock.
It's possible. I like switching it up. You never know. You never know what you're going to get on my lists.
Here's a question for you to think about this. We're talking about if you want these guys the head coach of your team. Obviously the Warriors won a championship not that long ago, right? But they have not been as good as they were during the dynasty run. Is that Steve Kerr's fault, or is that the front office's fault?
I think it's front office and just like
Draymond Green
and the punishment, especially in the NBA. Like once you're good, unless you get like crazy lucky in the draft with the Warriors just kind of haven't panned out, you're gonna go through those highs and lows. And I just don't think there's much Kerr can do about that. Some of those guys just haven't developed like you thought he would.
I mean, during that last championship run, we thought they hit in the draft because they had 5 guys that we thought were just going to be the next up, and then none of them really, ended up, like Kevon Looney left, and Wiseman got sent down to the G League, and all these guys they just didn't pan out, and so
I'm gonna put Kerr at 1.
I think it's fair. I don't think anybody.
I think that's the right call
because there's like.
Kerr has the most NBA championships as an active head coach right now.
No, I agree.
Is retired. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's him or like maybe Spoelstra, like maybe one other guy, but also Spoelstra gets kind of like meat ridden a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they've not been as good, obviously, in recent years.
Yeah.
Like they had one NBA Finals appearance and then.
He's kind of like the I would kind of compare Spoelstra to the Gundy thing last week, where he's so consistent and he's had so much success, but it's just like maybe not quite that next level, other than obviously the LeBron years and everything. All right, next name on the list, Robbie. Nick Nurse,
also a championship winning head coach.
Yep,
you have to keep in mind he's not going 3. This is probably disrespectful to Nick Nurse, but he's not going 3.
Sure.
We have 7, 8, and 9 open.
Yeah.
7, 9, 10.
7, 9, 10. We'll put Nick Nurse at 7.
Okay.
Yeah, we're cooked again. Someone's getting absolutely flamed at 9 here.
Nick Nurse at 7. Here we go. Next name on the list, Ryan. Rick Carlisle.
3. And I refuse to put him lower.
Yep. And here we go.
Here we go, indeed.
Eric Spoelstra.
Billy Donovan.
Robbie, next name on the list. Eric Spoelstra.
There it
That's the next name on the list.
Yes, sir.
At 9, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. That's unfortunate. And then the last
Phil Jackson.
And then the last name on the list at number 10, Ty Lue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that feels
All
right.
right, we coach. Yeah, we coach. Hold on.
So the blind ranking ended up being number 1, Steve Kerr, number 2, Joe Mazzulla, number 3, Rick Carlisle, number 4, Ime Udoka, number 5, Jason Kidd, number 6, Doc Rivers, number 7, Nick Nurse, number 8, JJ Redick, number 9, Eric Spoelstra, and number 10, Ty Lue.
Outside of Spoelstra, I kind of think we cooked there, actually. You hated on Doc at 6, but there were 5 guys that would have
Doc now is for sure 6. Like
Yeah.
Spoelstra is somewhere in the top 5, and then it's Doc, and then
Nick Nurse.
or Kid. I don't know. Kid or Doc could go 6.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Nurse.
I think you'd probably put Spoelstra at like 4 and just move everybody else
Fine.
down. Yeah,
I would
something
agree
like
with that. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fun.
Tough.
That
Hey,
was fun.
9 for 10. I think that's pretty solid.
No, that's pretty good, man.
Ty Lue in the absolute basement.
Speaking of the NBA, not too much news on this episode. You know, we're recording this a little bit ahead of time, so we don't want to have too many current events, but a lot of just contract extensions. A thing I wanted to talk about because, you know, Robbie and I specifically thought that Devin Booker was getting traded. Might not be the case after a 2-year, $145 million extension through the 2030 season with the Suns. So what is their plan?
I can tell you Devin Booker's plan.
Yeah.
Get the bag.
Of
Be
course.
close to LA because he can go see the influencers and things. You know, he's all about that life. So
Sure.
yeah, get the bag, be able to go hang out in LA whenever you want. Good for him. Tank commander.
Now
I guess
I have a question. How much did Bradley Beal being on this team impact the decision for Booker to take that bag? Because Beal's like, you gotta look out for number 1, bro. You gotta take it.
Numero uno. Yeah.
Numero uno.
That's fair.
Fuck the Suns.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I cannot wait for a lineup of starting Jalen Green, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Bro,
1, 2,
all
3.
guards. This is the 21st century NBA, baby. You don't need no centers. Get those 7-footers out of here. All guards.
True. That's very true. All right. Also talking about some more contract extensions. Speaking of people who got the bag, Chet Holmgren with a 5-year, could reach a total of $250 million extension.
Am I crazy to think that Holmgren and Williams are just not $500 million guys? Is that hot?
I don't think so, because a lot of people that I saw that were reacting to the Holmgren thing were saying that they believe he got overpaid, and I think some of that could be attributed to recency bias. And obviously, he did not have the finals that everybody kind of expected him to. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a bit of an overpay, but NBA money is crazy money, so I don't know.
If you're the Thunder, I feel like you gotta get Chet Holmgren on a cycle. Like, look, get that man some steroids. If he gets suspended for a couple games, so be it. Like, just
steroid era in the NBA. I'm here.
He's just gotta bulk up, man. Like, he has to.
Yeah.
Like, he still looks like, and I think that was one of the biggest, drawback against him when he came into the NBA. Is like he looks like a gazelle running around out there,
and he's put on 30 pounds since he's been in the league.
I know.
That's what's crazy.
But then you see him in the finals going against like someone like Miles Turner. He can't hold his own against those type of guys. He just doesn't have the strength.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And Connor, it wasn't in the podcast outline, but we brought up Jay Will. Also agreed to a 5-year contract that could reach $287 million.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's a half bill between those two.
On top
dudes.
of what they gave Shea too.
Yeah.
What's the second apron?
Yeah, exactly.
And in the Thunder's defense, they've drafted very well, and they still have so many fucking draft picks.
Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy.
So I mean, I think that's a thought, right? We have these 3 guys that we know we're good. This is the core. We have so many draft picks. We'll just keep going until we hit some. We have enough dart throws. Like, surely we'll hit on some. We can keep them on, cheap rookie contracts and be all right. I mean, that has to be the thought, I think, in Sam Presti's head.
I think that's totally fair.
How soon do they need to repeat? Like, how many chips do you think this core can win?
It's a good question.
I don't think they'll go back to back.
I don't think so either.
I think the West is too strong. I don't think there's. Yeah, I agree.
I think the playstyle will evolve a little bit in terms of like I don't think the Thunder are the type like they've got good 3-point shooters and obviously Shea puts I don't expect Shea because like Harden did the same thing where he had a few seasons and then he fell off. He's kind of a Harden comparison.
Will the NBA look at foul rule changes again if Shea keeps drawing fouls in the way that he does? Because that's what got the Rockets with Harden.
The difference is that the rules are already in place for Shea. They just don't call it. They don't call push up. Harden's rules were legitimately they had to change the rules because
because of James Harden.
They weren't in place. But Shea is violating the rules and just not getting called for it.
You're also telling me that the NBA is going to let a team from Oklahoma City win another championship in the next 3 years? No way. Zero chance. Those referees are going to be shown tape all off season of shade of foul baiting, and they're not going to call it next year.
They're like, okay, you got your one MVP, you got your championship. Correct. That's enough.
Look, guys, we're not rigged. We let Oklahoma City win one. Back to LA it goes. Like that's literally what we're looking at right here.
True. All right, and then also to talk one last extension, Paolo Banchero. I would say this one is the most deserved out of the ones we've talked about. A 5-year, $287 million extension.
Jalen Williams the same amount of money as Paolo Banchero got.
That's what I'm saying,
that
bro.
Is
carrying the Magic.
That is crazy work.
And we're skipping over my favorite contract extension that happened as of an hour ago before you sent out these pod notes.
Do not see
Mr. Herbert Jones getting his 3-year extension with the Pelicans. 3-year, $68 million for a first-team All-NBA defense.
It's a steal.
That's steal.
That's like
absolute steal.
Yeah.
Herb was like that out. He's one of those guys that he's not going to show up in the box score maybe as much as people would hope, but he's just all over the court. I mean, whenever you need someone to go dive after basketball, do something on defensive end, he's there. So reach out to Herb. We love Herb.
And he was hurt most of the season last year. He only played like 25 games or whatever. I think he tore a labrum. But he's first NBA all-team defense, and he shot 42% from three. Like 3-and-D dude getting like on a $25 million a year contract. I think that's a steal for the Pelicans.
I think that's exactly correct. All right, moving on from the NBA contract extensions. Gentlemen, I thought we'd switch it up a little bit this week. I'd like to do some sort of a draft. The thing that I had proposed in the notes was an animated characters draft. I thought it was just something different that wasn't sports that might be fun. What do you guys think? You guys on board for that?
Let's run it.
All right, so...
I'm not prepared, but we'll figure it out.
You're good. Just
I also didn't see this one, so I'm ready.
All right, do we want to go 3 rounds or do we want to go 5 rounds?
Let's start with 3 and we'll see if we start cooking.
Okay, I like that. Robbie, do you wanna spin a wheel for us and see what
Spin
we're...
the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Do animated.
Are we putting any like guardrails on this, or just if the character's animated, we're good to go?
I think if the character's animated, you're good to go, man. I'm not gonna.
All right.
I think it's just fun.
Connor, Robbie, Ryan.
Ooh, that's a lot of pressure,
I like where I'm at.
It's a lot of pressure. He's not necessarily my favorite, but from an iconicity standpoint, I feel like you kind of have to go with.
Is that a word?
Well, I'm making it.
I don't think it is.
That was crazy.
Making it a word.
The issue is we both knew what you said.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Which I'm upset about to begin with, but we'll continue.
Exactly, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go with Mr. SpongeBob SquarePants.
You bitch! I literally have the background on.
That's the goat.
I mean, you got
he is the goat. He's that dude.
To.
Yeah,
I watched some SpongeBob for the first time again recently. It still holds up.
You think so?
It still holds up.
The episode where he's like the old guy in the chocolate. What's that one? I'm trying to remember. You know what I'm talking about?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
No, he hates chocolate. The old guy hates chocolate.
Yeah, I know.
Chocolate.
All right, next pick.
Now I'm on the spot because that's where I was going to go.
Yeah, I apologize for. You could take someone within that universe. Still, there are so many.
I can't go back to back. Listen,
it's too much meat writing.
Listen, Pat's a great guy. Squidward is there. Mr. Krabs is there, but I can't go back to back.
Gary Snub.
Listen,
Plankton Snub.
Relax, Mr. Krabs.
He said Mr. Krabs. Pearls.
I'm gonna go a little deeper in the bag here to one of my favorite cartoon characters growing up.
Yeah.
The best animated dog.
Oh.
Specifically, Dog Detective.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Scooby Doo.
Yep. Good pick. That was probably my next one if it somehow made it back to me, but I didn't think it would. So that's a great pick.
Scooby-Doo's got some notoriety,
Facts.
If you will.
if
True.
you will.
Ryan,
he was CGI'd in a couple of movies, but it still counts as animated.
Yeah, it was kind of wild.
Yeah, it was.
What's your pick, Ryan?
Damn, there's a lot. It's quite a lot to choose from.
It's very true. I mean, you can go with the ones that you think are the most iconic. You can go with the ones that you think are just the most fun, your favorites.
I think I'm gonna go, and I got the snake too, which makes this is I'm pondering even longer.
Sure.
But I don't think I can let him fall out of the first round just because of how everyone knows who he is. We got to go with Charlie Brown.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
We just got to go with Charlie Brown. Peanuts are too well known to let fall any further.
I like that. So we had Charlie Brown, and then Robbie went with Scooby Doo. Ryan, who are you taking on the snake?
I kind of want to go a little bit more new age, not necessarily going for like team cohesion with this. I'm just picking I'm just picking goats.
I mean, that's how you win sometimes.
And I think this one might be a little bit more like personal.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just all of his clips as an adult going back and watching makes me laugh. It's way too high to pick him, but I just got to. It's got to be Carl Weezer.
That's a crazy second round pick. That's a crazy second round pick. I love me some Weezer, but that's a crazy second round pick.
Jimmy's mom.
Yeah, correct. That's the one.
That's really funny.
That's the one.
That is funny.
Ryan took an icon in Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's another one on the board that it's probably a little disrespectful that we let him slide to the second, considering he was like the first ever animated character in the history of any media.
Yeah,
I gotta take Mickey Mouse. Man.
You gotta take.
I just have to.
In
the second round, that's value.
I get it. You gotta take the mouse.
Walt Disney was,
little
All right, I think I'm going to in my back to back here. I think I'm going to go with one who's more well known and one personal favorite. I'm going to go with the personal favorite first. This is coming off of one of my favorite TV shows of all time. He might not be as well known, but for those that know who he is, I think you would definitely understand why I'm taking this pick. I'm taking Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I knew we'd have an Avatar pick. I figured third round was going to be a run on Avatar for sure.
Well, got the back to back there, so he's my personal favorite from that franchise. So I got to go there. And then the next one that I'm going to do, I think, is going to be a little bit more iconic. So I am going to go with. I'm between a few here. Between a few iconic characters, I think I'm gonna go with somebody who we haven't selected anybody from the franchise. I'm gonna go with Bugs Bunny. I'm gonna go with Bugs Bunny.
Another icon there for sure.
So, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. All right, where are we going next, Rob?
Shoot, I just had a pick in my head and then I lost it.
He lost.
Jimmy's mom.
Jimmy Neutron snubbed for Carl.
One more.
I mean, yeah, it's a good pick. I just don't know if it's first round pick. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get over that. To be honest,
I respect it.
He was second round.
He was second round. Yeah. I do respect it though. I like some of the funniest clips come from Carl Weezer.
I was just thinking of someone, and then I completely lost it.
The draft room has completely blown up.
We're
Robbie's.
We are in shambles right now.
The guy that they were supposed to pick was selected just before. And
no, it wasn't even that. Like, this is a great pick, and then I just lost it. I just completely
slammed down the landline too hard and can't call it a Goodell.
Was it a SpongeBob character? I mean, surely you got to take one with that.
It's from a show that we hadn't done yet. Oh my god, I'm just blanking now.
South Park, Simpsons,
Family Guy,
Garfield.
I'm in a blender. I'm just in a blender.
He's riffing. Connor, just go silent. Let him fill the void.
I'm gonna go with an anime. Another classic guy here. You probably haven't watched him since you were real little, but we happen to have a lot of his merch in my apartment currently, like a lot. We're going to go with Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Good pick. I like that.
Kai is a big Pooh girl.
Whoa. What?
Pause.
Yeah,
Loves
we gotta pause that.
Pause.
Loves the poo.
All right, Ryan, what's your next? Is this the final one? We going 3? Are we going 5? What do we
We
think?
still got a decent amount of stuff to get to. I think we just go with 3.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Ryan, what's the last pick in the draft?
Pika-pee.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we
Gotta go Pikachu.
Yep, good pick. That's a good pick. All right, to round off our teams real quick. My team was SpongeBob, Uncle Iroh, and Bugs Bunny. Robbie, what was your team?
Scooby-Doo, Mickey Mouse, and Winnie the Pooh. That kind of
That's pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie.
You were in your bag.
Yeah, I like
Even though
that.
the draft room was on fire in the 3rd round, we still managed to
Figured it out. And Ryan, what was yours?
That would be
Charlie.
Weezer.
Oh, I remember who I was gonna pick. I'll get my honorable mention after Ryan finishes.
Pikachu and Charlie Brown.
Robbie.
Yeah, I was gonna go Perry the Platypus. That's who I forgot.
I like that.
Phineas the Ferb is coming back, so I was gonna go Agent P there, but
I do have to. I do have to mention we snubbed all Pixar characters. Not a single
right.
Pixar character.
we kind of
selected on
I
our
went
list.
with cartoons, not animated.
I think that's
did.
fair.
I did think a couple, and then we were all kind of sticking with like animated cartoons.
I like that.
I stuck with that.
Stuck in our lane. All right, we're going to go to our next thing, which is fantasy football. You know it. You love it. We're going to start talking about it.
Speaking of
Booms
clothes.
and busts are obviously, some hot buzzwords before any season starts, and we're going to get into it today. Ryan, I kind of want to let you go first, but how do we want to do this? Do we want to, say all your booms and then go around, or we want to say one at a time? How do we want to do this? What do you guys think?
I'm gonna let you make that decision, Buster.
And we're doing booms, not sleepers, correct?
Correct.
Those are different things. Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. So they have 3 booms and 3 busts. You know what, Ryan? We'll have you go through all of them. We'll just have you go through all of them and give your reasoning. And then I'll do mine, and then we'll have Robbie do his. And then we'll come back to busts. But we're going to start with booms, Ryan. Who are your 3 booms for the 2025 fantasy football season?
My 3 booms. Okay. Do you want to give one and do some reasoning, or give all 3? And then
I don't know. Give one, give some reasoning.
I'm gonna go with JSN. I think he's gonna have a really good season. Early ADPs have him going somewhere between wide receiver 12 and wide receiver 15. I absolutely think he has wide receiver 1 potential, and I think at his ceiling he could be flirting with top 5. I'm interested to see how the quarterback situation plays out. Was it, lightning in a bottle, or can we continue some of this success up in Seattle? But I think he's going to be open to a larger target share.
Yeah.
And I think he should have a good season as long as he stays healthy.
I like that. I like that pick. It's a good pick. What's your next one?
I think you should do one at a time, because otherwise someone might get a bunch sniped. And also, I don't want to have to think of 3 all at once, because I'm doing this.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah. This might be one that Connor has, but new quarterback started playing some towards the end of the year, looked pretty good. It's division rival. Kind of hurts me to say this, but I really like Drake London this year with Michael Penix slinging the ball a little bit back there. I can see him having a really, really good year this year, going probably mid-second round right now, ADP wise. I think you could potentially get a high ceiling wide receiver 1 right there in round 2.
See, I don't know what it is, and I don't really have any stats to back it up. A lot of this podcast is just saying stuff off the hip. That's
vibe check
part of our
for sure.
Yeah. I don't feel it with Drake London. I can't. I don't know why, and I want to, because I'm a huge Penix guy, but I'm just London is not selling me on the stuff that he's done so far. Maybe it's because some of the stuff that Pitts, he's done nothing in Atlanta, and I'm like, maybe that has some influence.
He also it's also fresh in my mind because he tore up the Panthers in Week 18 last year. Granted, Penix and Bryce were just playing against air basically, but he was tearing it up. So
yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with my pick here. I have a tight end for a boom. I'm gonna go out of Arizona, Trey McBride. I feel really good about Trey McBride. He finished number 2 last year, and you're probably thinking, oh, how can you be more of a boom than that? I want people to understand he finished number 2. He caught 2 touchdowns the entire season. And it was one touchdown in week 17, one touchdown in week 18. I think Kyler finished like number 10 in fantasy. A lot of people, I think, would bring up the concern. They think Marvin Harrison's going to take a big step up and maybe take some of that target share. Dude, Murray, fed McBride last year, and I don't really expect that to slow down too much, even if Harrison takes that step up. And honestly, if Harrison takes that step up, that takes some of the pressure off of McBride. I just don't see how a guy who looks as good as he does, who is as young as he does, who didn't have, had 2 touchdowns last year, I don't see how he doesn't maintain that or even take another step up. So I'm going to go with Trey McBride there.
I think it's a good pick, and I think it reminds me of when last year I said Laporta would be a bust, and it was purely because he was way over the average in terms of like how his fantasy performance was buoyed by however many touchdowns he had. I mean, it was crazy, and he regressed this year because of how many targets or how many just weapons the Lions had. That was same thing, just kind of inverse there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here with you.
Ryan, who's your next boom?
My next boom, and it's a man that everyone knows and has been, pretty consistent for kind of a dog water team. But now that they have a quarterback who I think will continue to excel in his sophomore season, he's being projected at wide receiver 16 behind the likes of Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, and T. Higgins. But that's Terry McLaurin.
Okay, interesting.
I actually don't love that pick.
And that's why you're ugly.
They've brought in so much other receiver talent, and there have been rumors about Terry not happy with his contract situation currently.
Then go ball.
So we'll see.
I agree that they've tried to bring in a lot of receiving talent, but like wide receiver 3 right now is Noah Brown, and he also hasn't really done a whole lot.
Where does Deebo Samuel fall in the depth chart?
Right,
wide receiver bum.
Like outside of Terry McLaurin, I can't think of any other guys that are like, startable. Like you got a flex matchup kind of thing, but that he's still bona fide wide receiver 1 for like the best young quarterback in the league, and I think that deserves. If he and Jaden continue to foster that relationship, I think he definitely has that boom potential.
How old is Terry now? He's got to be 30, like maybe 30 flat, something like that. I can't remember how old he is.
He is 29.
29, so could be 30 by the time the season's. I don't know when his birthday is, but around that age. I don't hate that bit. I'm kind of with I don't, because obviously he played really well last year. I mean, he had one of his best fantasy years in a long time, and a lot of that was due to Jaden Daniels. So I think it's definitely possible. I don't think that's a terrible pick. Like, I certainly don't think he'll be a bust by any means. But I don't know if he'll be a crazy boom.
And the whole like contract things, like we hear players every year
that happens all the time.
Like that is what it is at this point.
Sure.
That's like white noise static to me now. I don't like there was a few years ago when remember Kamara was having his contract issue with the Saints. People were like, "Oh, he's not going to have a contract before the season starts," and then he was like the running back 2 of the years. He
wants to get paid, and the Saints want to win games and sell jerseys and tickets.
Yeah,
they got to get something done.
All right, Robbie, who's your next one?
We haven't taken a running back yet, and it's weird to predict running backs because the guys at the top are either still going to be good or they're going to get injured. And you can't really predict injuries. You really can't. So I'm going to go a little bit further down the board. The guy that's being drafted around an ADP of 30 right now, that last year you were trying to take in top 5 of your fantasy drafts. And I get it. It's the Jets. I understand. They're not a great team. They're not great offensively. But who else is getting the ball other than Breece Hall? Justin Fields will be back there with him to take a little bit of the rushing load off. And you could say he'll vulture some touchdowns, that type of stuff. I don't really ever buy that unless it's Jalen Hurts doing the tush push. Like that's really never come through for me. I just think at his ADP, that's a boom spot. Yeah, I really do.
I think I looked at him too. And I think one of the reasons I hesitated is there were like multiple times that the new coach for the Jets, Aaron Glenn, has said, we're going to go running back by committee.
Speaking of tuning out head coaches, I tend to not listen to what head coaches say when they're going to give running backs carries because they're usually full of shit. They're going to give the best running back the most carries. It doesn't really matter.
But again, it's the Jets, so they could do something to help them lose games. You forget.
That is true.
Can I give you a little bit of my pushback on that, Robbie?
Yeah.
My concern about Brees Hall is that
Sorry, actually, no feedback. I'm good. I know I'm right.
GG's go next.
No, go ahead, Connor.
A lot of his biggest performances have come in where he is a mix of a rusher as well as a receiver.
Sure.
I don't see his receiving load being very good with Justin Fields.
What do you think Justin Fields is going to throw the ball downfield?
Yeah, I just say,
I know.
The read option in the screen game is going to go crazy.
Maybe the option and everything. Like, I think his rushing workload and everything will take a jump up. I just don't see him getting 6 to 10 targets a game in passing. I just don't see.
Listen, I'm a little bit of a Justin Fields truther on the fantasy side because in terms of a fantasy quarterback,
I'll give you that.
Justin Fields is a good fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, but
the man reads a defense like Floyd Mayweather reads a book. Like, he's not going to be throwing it downfield all that much. So
50. Who's Justin Fields 50 Cent?
If you could read one page of a Harry Potter book.
That's a great video. All right. My second boom is, I've talked about him before. We did, in the Jude episode, we ranked our top 5 quarterbacks, and I had a sleeper on there. He was the number 18 quarterback this past year. A lot of that due to injury of his receivers, as well as injuries of his own. I'm going with CJ Stroud. I think he has a really, really strong resurgence. And I think he has a really, really good year. I think, like I said, I think he has that healthy receiving core. I think he himself is healthy. I think that he is going to have that bounce back to where, defenses started to figure him out in that second year. And I think he's going to figure it out in the third year, how to get more creative, how to get in his spots more. And he's got the 2-headed demon of Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb to free him up a little bit. I think CJ Stroud is a really good year this year.
I think it's a good pick. And I thought about taking Nico Collins. Granted,
sure,
we know that Nico's going to be good, but I think that's a good pick.
I think there's no way that CJ is. He was 18 last year. There's
Speaking
no way.
Of teams to being good. The Texans are good. I mean, that defense is phenomenal. So.
Yeah, the Texans are real good. So, Ryan, back to you for your third boom.
And I really debated actually classifying him as a boom. Excuse me. I think his floor is so high.
Would you give him 3 big booms?
I might give him
5. 4 big booms,
more than the double chunk chocolate cookie.
Okay,
I'm slightly biased because I have him in Dynasty, but I think he's just gonna get worked so much, and that's Chuba Hubbard. He's being drafted at RB18 right now, and I don't think there are 17 guys ahead of him that have nearly the chances for volume and touchdowns that Chuba's gonna have. Right, especially when he was the bona fide dude at the end of the last season. Yeah. Obviously, the Panthers were fucking playing chicken scratch at the end of the season.
No, at the end of the season, we were cooking low-key.
Bryce Young was hooping,
but I'm a very big on Chuba. I think, like I said, he's RB18 being drafted right now.
Yeah, real low.
I feel like that's a little disingenuous to him.
It'll be very interesting to see how it shakes out with Rico Dowdle.
I agree.
Because the Panthers coaching staff wanted to give Miles Sanders touches, but he sucks. So he didn't get touches. But they tried their damnedest to give that man touches. So I'm very curious to see how it works out with Rico. And I kind of see Rico being that third down back coming in for some pass catching situations and stuff like that would be my guess. But
Robbie Chuba, you've got T-Mac, Bryce Young. I mean, we're looking up.
What's not to love?
Listen, we're almost in full-on hopium season. We're getting real close. We're getting real close.
I thought we had hopium season when we had the Panthers going positive this year. Is that
no? We're not there yet. I haven't said they're going to win the division yet, and that might come out at some point.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
they're second in the division. That's my take.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Robbie, who's your third?
I'm going to take another running back, and I probably shouldn't tell this to people who I'm in a dynasty league with, but this guy is my favorite running back in this draft class, not named Ashton Genty.
Good.
Okay.
And he's been drafted a little bit lower in dynasty startup drafts, stuff like that. He's going into a situation where I think he can really take over a backfield. I think Travion Henderson is the second best rookie running back in this class. I think he's better than Quinshon Judkins was at Ohio State.
Okay.
I think he's going to have a really good year. Is it RB1 territory? Probably not.
Mhm.
But if you're getting him in the 6th round, I think I think that's really good value if you're looking for that RB2 to kind of come out of those late rounds.
I like that. I think it's a good pick.
I'm interested to see if he can like be a workhorse, because I remember like while he was obviously RB1, he wasn't like rode super hard. I read
Right.
like as we were doing research, right? I did.
Yeah.
He never had more than like 180 carries a season. So I think like getting late into an NFL season where guys are like getting up in the upper 200s, I'm interested to see how he can like handle that workload.
People just forgot about him after Judkins came in, but he was so good before that. I mean,
sure.
I think I'll have a good year.
My third boom, my next selection, a guy that he's always been solid. He's always been good. Dealt with some injuries this last season, and so he wasn't as high up there as he usually is. He was the number 17 wide receiver. He is not the best receiver on his team. I'm going to go with T. Higgins. I think Joe Burrow is going to have to force the ball on offense because the defense is so bad in Cincinnati.
I saw a list the other day of the top 40 safeties in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
Not a single Bengal on the list. 40 safeties. But you know who was towards the top is Jesse Bates, former Bengal who now plays in Atlanta. Not a single Bengal in the top 40 safeties in the league. Dude, Joe Burrow's putting up 50 a game.
This is what I'm saying. And if T. Higgins stays healthy, obviously, Jamar there's a very high likelihood he's going to be the number 1 receiver, and they're going to have to sling the rock. And who's the number 2 guy? T. Higgins is right there. If his hamstrings can hold up and he remains,
they can't. Without a spoiler alert, they won't.
He's 26. It's not like he's actually dealt with a ton.
But he has it every year. Like it's been like 3 or 4 seasons in a row at this point.
It's not going to happen. I'm calling it this year.
You guys each said someone that's on my dynasty team, so I'm feeling great right now.
Feeling awesome. All right, we're going to get into the fantasy busts real quick. Can I start? Can we go reverse order?
Sure.
Well, I got one out the gate, and people are not going to be thrilled with this one. Coming off his first season, where I think people he was finally the player that people had predicted that he was going to be from the start. I think he is a 1-season wonder, one and done. Doesn't happen again. Give me Jerry Jeudy is going to be a fantasy football bust for this.
I thought you were going to say Jameson Williams, and Jude was going to just appear out of nowhere and beat the shit out of him.
No. I'm going Jerry Jeudy. I think, obviously he made the, all-pro team last year, and he was a very good receiver. I think the Browns QB room is a disaster right now. I think they have no idea what's going on.
Well,
obviously,
Shadur is out there racking up speeding tickets, bro. He's been on that grind. He's trying to get the facility put in that work, and they're holding him back.
Sure.
And I think that's honestly more of a comment on the Browns quarterback room than Jerry Jeudy.
But truly, that's going to affect him. So that's kind of more of my
say that, but he had a good year last year with who at quarterback?
I just
Joe
don't.
Flacco?
DTR, put some respect on his name.
I just don't think it happens again. He's very talented. He's a good receiver. I just don't see, with all the issues they've been going with on all sides, I don't see him being able to keep that up. I think he was number 10 last year. I don't think that happens again. Jerry Jeudy is a fantasy bust this year.
I'm going to go even a little more bold than Connor and say one that people are going to hate even more than Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, don't worry. I got some more.
I got in my bag. Don't you worry.
We all don't like his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted a prospect this year that's going to play both ways.
Holy crap. I know what you're about to say.
But
no way.
He had a pretty good year last year.
Really?
I just don't see it. They brought in some other receivers. I think he's going to have a second-year slump. I don't like Brian Thomas in the second round.
Wow. He was number 4 last year. He was a number 4 receiver last year.
Dang. I mean, I'm a BTJ Glazer.
Yeah, you are.
Shameless.
I don't like the value there in the second round.
Wow.
Is he going to be terrible? No, but is he going to be a wide receiver 1 this year in fantasy? I also don't think so.
Second round, yeah, I don't know. With Travis Hunter,
there are other guys below him at the receiver position that I would rather take in a fantasy draft.
Interesting. I think that's interesting. All right. Yeah, I would say that's hotter than Jerry Jeudy. All right, Ryan, who's your number 1?
I'm looking at this list and
oh God.
I don't know if I can say it because I don't know if I truly believe it in my heart. I wrote it down and I don't know if I can say it because he is so talented.
Stick with your gut.
But because I hate who is throwing him the ball, Justin Jefferson will not be a top 8 receiver this year.
Whoa.
You won't.
What?
No.
Top 8?
Won't be a top 8.
Ryan, that might be the worst.
Connor thought he was spicy with this pick, and then we went BTJ and
Justin
Justin Jefferson.
Jamar
Top
Chase. Jamar Chase.
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
Amon-Ra.
Sure.
Puka. Malik
No.
Neighbors. Nico. And then we kind of get into gambling territory with either like one of the three between
top
BT.
8?
He won't.
That is heinous.
Dude, McCarthy is that fucking bad.
He's not that bad.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He is AJ McCarron with a natty for Michigan.
I'm not saying that he's like a great quarterback, but Justin Jefferson is like one of the most talented receivers ever.
This is bait, right? This is definitely bait.
This might be bait.
This is bait.
Won't be top 8.
Wow, that is crazy. I don't know if we've ever had a hotter take on.
You're welcome.
Okay,
all right.
Well, I'm about to make people even more angry. So let's actually no. That's probably worse than what.
That's definitely the worst one. You can't unless you want to say Jamar Chase. You're not topping that one. So
yeah, exactly. I'm going to a tight end. And he's a little bit, just in the games that he plays, he kind of one game he has a huge game, and then the next game he kind of is a bust. That's just kind of how his career has gone in terms of from a fantasy perspective. I think that this is the first year that its age is going to really start to show. I think that they've had some issues on the skill side of the ball with injuries and everything, but the guys that were taking some of his share and workload are back and healthy. I'm taking George Kittle. I don't think George Kittle remains throughout this year. I think the 49ers are a little bit of flux on if they want to go for a championship, if they want to start a rebuild. I think they don't really quite know where they're at. And I think this is the first year that him at 31 years old, I think George Kittle really starts to slow down and not be as productive in fantasy football. I mean, yeah. So,
I'm still trying to wrap my head around Ryan right now.
Jetta's
what?
Top 8, man. He said top 8.
I think if I remember correctly, we did our top 5 fantasy wide receivers a couple weeks ago. I think I had him at like 4, and there was outrage from that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I'm gonna go to the running back position, and a guy who I really don't know how he still has the starting job where he is. I traded him away in Dynasty so long ago because I am not a believer at all in this guy. He's with a coach who loves rotating out his running backs. They drafted Blake Corum last year, who didn't get a lot of carries, but is still on the roster. I am not big on Kyron Williams. I am really surprised he's still the RB1 in Los Angeles. I just don't think he's that dude.
You just can't trust McVay and any running backs. Like, I avoided Kyron last year just because I've been burned by the Cam Akers and whatever other bullshit. Like,
well, that's just because Cam Akers is ass. That has nothing to do with Sean
He's
McVay.
still somehow in the league. It's crazy. He's getting bounced around.
All right, Ryan, who's your please don't tell me it's worse than Jetta's, man.
Jamar Chase.
All right. Being drafted at an average of RB19, I still think is too high. I'm going with Joe Mixon. I think the Texans have the worst offensive line in football. They're going to be Stroud's going to be hucking the ball a lot. They got Nick Chubb also signed as a free agent, and they got that new rookie too, who's actually pretty decent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I
they still have Dameon Pierce.
Don't mention Dameon Pierce in the same breath as like any of those dudes, bro. He's so so bad. Like, it's not even funny. Dameon Pierce had one season where he was like top 20 running back, and people are like, hell yeah, we found a Texans running back. It's Arian Foster. No, it's not.
Yeah. I think it's a good pick.
And I got Mixon on my dynasty team. I just think like this is he's just gonna get a lot of his carries eaten into.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. My third pick, I also am going with the running back. This is less of a reflection of the player as opposed to the organization and how they typically run things. They did go more run heavy last year. I don't expect that to maintain. I'm going to go with James Cook. I do not think James Cook, if you're a Buffalo Bills running back, I don't trust you, to be totally honest.
That pick. He's on my dynasty team. I hate that pick.
But yeah, they were more run centric last year. I just don't see it being a maintaining thing. Josh Allen.
We talked about touchdown regression with Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
James Cook had a lot of touchdowns last year.
Yes, he did.
So it'll be very surprising if he holds up the pace he did last year. And I think you're right. I don't think the Bills run the ball as much as they did last year. And if they do, I think Ray Davis gets a little bit more run than he did last year.
Exactly. So yeah, James Cook for my third bust.
I took a boom from the New York Jets, and I wouldn't feel right if I didn't balance myself out and take a bust from the New York Jets. We talked about Justin Fields throwing the ball. We have a wide receiver on the Jets who's talented, but also came out really hot as a rookie, and since then I think hasn't really overly impressed people. I think he has a lot of talent. I think he's going to need a big time change of scenery come when this rookie contract is up. I just don't see it for Garrett Wilson this year.
Good pick.
I don't see it at all.
He's buns.
He's ass.
But yeah, I agree. I think that's a good pick. I just don't. It's Justin Fields, man. Like, it's the Jets.
In terms of players who need a change of scenery more than anyone, I would put Garrett Wilson almost at the top of that list.
Yeah, I think it's
put him on a competent org, I think he'd be really good. But
all right, Ryan, who's your last one?
I don't like it. I wrote it down, now I can't go.
Oh no!
You already said Justin Jefferson. It can't be worse.
It is.
It's worse.
It's worse.
Oh no!
It's worse.
Who? What? Is it a quarterback?
It's a running back. Supposed to be generational talent.
Okay.
Ash and Jenny.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, I don't think that's a bad pick, actually. I don't know.
I think he's being picked too high. Yeah. I think there are so many other guys. You're telling me that he's being picked in the same breath as CMC, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka.
I agree with this.
He's being picked 2 places above Derrick Henry. Like I know,
being picked as the RB4 right now,
which is going to a Raiders team where you have Jacoby Myers and like who's calling plays for them. Like it's I think he's just too high to gamble as your first round pick.
Yeah, you get him at Dynasty League, you're thrilled because I think he will be a good running back.
Of course,
I would not draft him in redraft this year.
No, not at all. I know. I think that's a good pick, right?
Like I think a lot of people would be like, oh, it's Bijan 2.0, right? Like he's gonna just come in and dominate. I don't know.
He doesn't have the receiving ability that Bijan had.
Sure.
Correct. Yes, I would agree with that. All right, we're going to get into our next thing. I think we had a lot of fun conversations today. We're going to stick with the NFL. This was something that Ryan had sent me on social media, and I wanted to play with you guys. It's a who would you rather have? I'm going to give you a name up front. So Robbie's going to do his own game. Ryan's going to do his own.
What was the one that I sent you? Who was
the? It was Shea, and they were picking Shea over over
Shea,
Luka.
Dirk Nowitzki.
They said Shea.
Over I'm Dirk. Like, you're fucking smoking crack.
Are they also Notre Dame fans by any chance? And don't have a memory longer than a year? Is that what's going on here?
Possible. But so for Robbie, it's going to be NFL wide receivers, and for Ryan, it's going to be NFL running backs. And I'm going to give them. They don't know what the name is. I'm going to give them the name, and then I'm going to put players against them, and they're going to answer who they would rather have on the NFL team. So Robbie, you're going first here.
Yeah.
You're going wide receivers. Your name is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Is your base. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is the person you're comparing everybody against.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown or Devontae Adams?
Right now, Sun God all day.
I like that.
This is like right now, or
this is right now. This is right now. Yeah. Would you rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown or DK Metcalf?
Sun God.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Would you rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown or Terry McLaurin?
Sun God.
Okay. Would you rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown or Mike Evans?
Sun God.
Okay, you thought about it. Though.
More respect for Mike Evans and Terry.
I like that. I like that. Would you rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown or Tyreek Hill?
This is a tough one. This is definitely the hardest one by far. Here's another question for you. Mm-hmm. Fantasy or real life?
Real life.
Sun God.
Okay, I like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Malik Neighbors?
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, I like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Justin Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson. You're crazy.
No way, crazy. Man. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Nico Collins?
Nico.
Wow,
Robbie's a Nico truther.
That
Nico
was
that
really
dude.
Quick.
Nico is that dude.
I don't know if I agree with that. Amon-Ra St. Brown or CeeDee Lamb?
CeeDee.
Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jamar Chase?
Sun God. No, I'm just kidding. Jamar Chase. Yeah.
Last one. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Puka Nacua?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You went with him most of the time.
I am not a Puka truther.
I'm not either. But you are a Nico Collins truther. You're steadfast. In Nico
Robbie
Collins.
has been. I will be the first man to say Robbie has been a Nico Collins meat writer since the man's got in the league.
Hey, it's a little aggressive, but yes.
All right, Ryan, you have NFL running backs, and the name that you have is Bijan Robinson.
It's not going to be too many, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who'd you rather have, Bijan Robinson or Christian McCaffrey?
You got to go Bijan now. CMC's too hurt all the time.
Fair. Bijan Robinson or Joe Mixon?
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson or Devon A-Chain?
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson or Breece Hall?
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson or Alvin Kamara?
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson or Josh Jacobs?
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson or Saquon Barkley? He's thinking about it.
Saquon.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right pick.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson or
that's what I'm saying, bro. There's like two, maybe.
Bijan Robinson or Jonathan Taylor?
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson or Derrick Henry?
This is the other one just because I'm such a Derrick Henry like
meat writer.
Uh-huh. Right now is the NFL running back for your team.
Bijan.
And last one, Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Oof. I mean, in my mind, they're the same damn person. Like,
they play pretty similarly.
I really do think of them like 1A, 1B in that style of running back. Mm. I'm going to be different and say Gibbs, but I don't think you can go wrong there.
Yeah, I think that's. I think. I don't know. I'd be interested to see in the comments of like what Bijan versus Gibbs. I think most people would be pretty lenient on either side. They would understand either side. So we're running a little long on time here. I'm actually I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm gonna skip the TikTok responses.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, but we also weren't gonna do any of the. By the way, if you're an avid listener of the podcast, go check out the TikTok where we talk about A&M and Notre Dame. Worst hate we've ever gotten on any video ever.
So funny, dude.
So we're going to go to the bracket today. It's the best sporting event to attend in person. I think this will be some fun discussion here. I think we'll get into it a little bit. The first one we've got here. So I tried to do a decent representation of all sports and everything.
You didn't send the bracket.
Oh my gosh, you guys are like the neediest people of all time.
Okay, bro.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta figure out. Oh my gosh, this is taking too long. 1 second. Here we go. I'm just gonna slap this in Discord for the gentleman. All right, let me know if that has come through for you guys. It is on the Discord.
Sorry.
While you guys are pulling that up, the first matchup we've got is the World Cup. So obviously that is the the Soccer World Cup or the Cricket World Cup.
I mean,
are we really doing this?
Do we need to
discuss?
Talk
about it? Do we need to talk about it?
World Cup. Moving on. The next one we've got this. So again, these are events that you'd want to go to in person: the Stanley Cup or the NBA Finals. Both 7-game series.
I think it's the Stanley Cup.
There's no energy like a hockey game energy.
Yeah, I think it would be the Stanley Cup. Like, obviously, I would go to a Mavs finals over like a Stars finals because I'm a bigger Mavs fan, like a basketball fan. But like, just a random Game 7 in the Stanley Cup, like give me there.
I also think you have to think about the fans in attendance. Mm-hmm. Like the hockey fans are there for the hockey. I feel like a lot of people go to basketball games just to like be there. Like they're not really there for the basketball.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair point. I would go NBA Finals here, but I've been outvoted. Next matchup, the Masters versus the Kentucky Derby.
This is a absolute disgrace to see the Kentucky Derby at 12. This is abysmal seating.
So fair. so fair. But I also, in terms of, I saw a lot of lists. I did some research for this, and I averaged everything out. And this is what it came down to. This is what it came down to. And I apologize if you're offended, but this is what it is: the Masters versus the Kentucky Derby.
It's so dependent on what phase of life you're in.
Yeah,
I truly think, like, and obviously we went to the Kentucky Derby. We did like the DGen style. We go to the infield and you just get absolutely blackout, right? But like,
yeah,
it's also, you got to think about the time that's spent. The Masters is over 4 days. Practice
you're probably only going to one day.
True, you're only going to one day. That's fair. But like Kentucky Derby is 2 minutes. The entire race day, I guess, is like what, 5 hours kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
longer. It's like all day as well. I was thinking about it like this. It's really hard to get Masters tickets. It's $100 to get in the Kentucky Derby, and the Kentucky Derby is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I've been to both. Where the Masters had been to the Kentucky Derby, but the Masters is definitely another step above in terms of like an iconic and unique sporting event to go to. You can, I mean, it's not the same, but you can go to a NASCAR race and be in the infield, and it's probably going to be a similar vibe at the Kentucky Derby if you're going to the infield. But there's nothing like the Masters.
That was a good argument. I like the uniqueness argument there because I think I was leaning Derby, but I like it's more of a spectacle, different thing. I think that's a good argument. Ryan,
no, I agree. Like, I think the Kentucky Derby is a lot of fun, and everyone should do it because I think it's one of the like cheapest major sporting events that you can go to, and like really, like, obviously I live in Kentucky now, but it's very much like how big horse racing is here is pretty cool, and just like how big that event is pretty fun sight to see.
Next matchup: Wimbledon versus the Super Bowl.
I'm sure Wimbledon's cool, but like it's the Super Bowl.
But like Super Bowl, man. Like you just
as we talked about earlier,
Americans,
we are not tennis guys. Definitely not tennis guys.
Next matchup: the Winter Olympics versus the Tour de France.
It's got to be the Olympics, bro.
It's got to be. It just has to be.
I was watching stage 1 of the Tour de France the other day, which is actually kind of crazy. I don't know why. I just woke up one morning with
that's kind of
like Tour de France.
Crank that on. I was like, let's go. But no, like the Winter Olympics, all the different sports, Apollo Ono, speed skating.
Shout out Apollo.
We're not even going to talk about snowboarding. We're not even going to
Shaun White.
Like,
I was getting there, bro.
Throwing it back.
Yeah.
That was also like 12
I know,
years ago.
fucking old,
we are just showing our age right now.
The Olympics time frame doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe it's 4 years between each like winter Olympics because they just show up and I'm like, oh yeah, it's Olympics
COVID
time.
also screwed it all up because I think like the Winter Olympics got pushed back by a year and we've been all off since then. So
that's a good point. Well, yeah, I need to. I feel like the last few Olympics, I haven't been as locked in. I want to watch a lot of the next Olympics. I want to, watch.
I mean, we have the first Olympics on U.S. soil.
I will be spending money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got to.
100%. I mean, World Cup too. They have the World Cup. And
I'm on the waiting list to get tickets for the World Cup.
I gotta figure out how to do that.
Next matchup: the Indy 500 versus the College Football National Championship.
The Indy 500 is fucking awesome. Like it is so much fun. And like I went into it, I was like, okay, like I've been to NASCAR races before. I was like, this is gonna be boring, like whatever.
Sure.
It was sick. It's really, really cool. You can go to a museum in the infield where they like have all the old Indy cars and you see the Indy cars like the entire time they've been racing it. You can go in the museum for free on race day. There's a golf course in the middle of the track.
Hell yeah.
In the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There's 3 holes in the infield. And then while the race is going on, there's also a full ass music festival just in the infield as well. It's like its own event. It's called the Snake Pit. Its own music festival just also going on at the same time.
So are you arguing Indy 500 here?
However,
not so fast.
Not so fast.
If Alabama's in a college football national championship game, I'm going to pick that over the Indy 500 every time.
But
what's the better?
What's the
better sport?
I will say this too. When I was in Indianapolis, Alabama played the college football national championship game in Indianapolis. I didn't go to that, but I did go to the Indy 500.
I think tickets were a little cheaper, no?
True.
Actually, they weren't bad. It's Monday night in Indy with Alabama and Georgia. The tickets actually weren't that expensive. I just unfortunately was starting a new job that day.
Ooh, I do remember that. Yeah.
What do you think, Ryan? 8,500 college football national championship.
I got to go college football. The Indy might be cool. Like, I've never been to a NASCAR race. Actually, I'd love to go to like an F1 race or something. But never been. College football's the sport, so I got to go with that.
I think I gotta agree with you there, but I Robbie made a good argument. I think
you got to educate people because I think people think it's like kind of a normal race, and it's definitely not.
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, like all 16 of these I would want to go to, like every single one of them. Maybe other than like the Cricket World Cup. No disrespect to cricket, I just don't know anything about cricket. So that's the only reason I say.
I've been to 4 of them on the list. I feel like that's pretty solid.
That's very impressive. Next one we have March Madness versus the World Series.
I need clarification questions on this.
Sure.
So is it a game in the World Series? Say like it's game 7, or is it like a day? Because college basketball, right? Like they're at sites and you have a bunch, especially round of 64, you have a bunch of games all on one day. So like
you actually only can buy tickets to 2 of them. If they have 4 games at a site on a day, you only get tickets to 2 of them. There's like a first session, a second session.
I hate America.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, what do we think the most fair matchup is? Do we want to do like Final Four versus Game 7? Do we want to do like one of the days versus just a random game? What do you think is the most fair matchup?
I guess in my mind, if we're comparing them evenly, like we're doing Final Four versus Game 7, I'm going Final Four. Yeah. If we're doing Game 1 versus round of 64, I'm probably picking the round of 64. If you're comparing them evenly, I'm going March Madness.
Yeah, I think I would probably agree with that. I think I would have to.
Damn, tough.
Yeah,
I was on the fence, but like if you guys are both March Madness, then yeah.
Next matchup: Monaco Grand Prix versus the Summer Olympics.
I've heard the Monaco Grand Prix is the richest, sporting event in the
F1
world.
This is a tough match for the Monaco Grand Prix because I think it would be really cool, but it's like also the Summer Olympics.
We just talked about how we're going to find a way to get LA in 2028.
We got to.
Yeah, I love the Olympics, and I think it would be very cool to see the Grand Prix and like Monaco itself. But
yeah,
I'll take 2 weeks of track and field and swimming and all this other shit.
Next, we're in the second round now. The World Cup versus the Stanley Cup.
World Cup clears.
Yeah.
It's the sporting event. It's going to be
so much
energy
if we were actually good at soccer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
What happened to US Mexico, Rob?
I won't talk about it. Bums. Did you guys see the handball in that game though, or the handball that was not a handball?
He did he stood on it with his hand. It was crazy.
So like the ball's on the ground, Connor, and the guy from Mexico is in the 18, fell over and like planted his hand on the ball and like stopped, like palmed it in the ground. Didn't call a handball.
It was actually like ludicrous.
I have read that by the rules, technically that's the correct call because he was making like a soccer move, quote unquote, catching himself, like he wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary.
Holy Des catch wording.
Right. Yeah. But by the spirit of the rule, I feel like it should be.
Yeah, for sure. Next matchup, the Masters versus the Super Bowl.
Damn.
That's a tough one. That is actually really tough.
Titans of American sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not even American sports, just the sporting in general. Like the Masters is really well known, not just in the US.
Here's my argument. Can I give you my argument real quick?
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said about how enjoyable a Super Bowl party is at home with the people that you enjoy watching it with. And, that includes the commercials, that includes the food that you bring and everything like that. And it's also the Super Bowl tickets. And I'm not saying the Masters is cheap, but like,
if you get them through the lottery, they are actually pretty cheap.
Masters is very cheap.
But the Super Bowl tickets are like unbelievably expensive now. I think I would actually lean Masters here. I think Super Bowl is more fun from home sometimes, like in my opinion, but
the Super Bowl is like its own day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Masters doesn't have its own day really. Like obviously like Sunday is like final day of the tournament and whatnot, but like across the world, how many hundreds of millions of people, almost 1 billion probably now, are watching the Super Bowl? I just feel like you got to.
I would actually go Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Damn, I got outvoted there. That's all right. Next one, we have the Winter Olympics versus the College Football National Championship.
I'm very much on like countries competing for like sporting events that I would want to go to.
Mhm.
So I would have to go to Winter Olympics.
I'm fine with that.
All right, Winter Olympics moving on. Last matchup in the second round: March Madness versus the Summer Olympics.
It's gonna be tough.
Summer Olympics.
Summer Olympics.
Summer Olympics. Got to go back to back. All right, here we go. In the semifinals, the World Cup versus the Super Bowl.
This is right where I want to be.
And we were talking a lot about countries competing. I would rather go to the Super Bowl than go to the World Cup.
Wow.
Because the U.S. sucks.
I mean,
That
sure.
and like I actually know what's going on in the Super Bowl.
I was about to say you care
like
about.
you drop me in
football
a
as
like
opposed
going to a random World Cup match is gonna be awesome. Like I'm going to find a way to go because I'll be in Atlanta. Like I'm just gonna be there for the vibes. I have no idea what's going on the field. And if I'm paying good money to go to a sporting event, I want to know what's happening on the field and actually be engaged with that.
You know what's going on in soccer?
I wouldn't know like the storylines. I wouldn't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I know I understand the rules of soccer. Yes.
Put
like,
it in the net.
But like, am I gonna know all of the background on it versus like a Super Bowl? You go in with all the storylines, all the things from an entire season of football that I'm gonna know.
Yeah,
that's what
fair.
changes it for me.
I just think there's something to be said about like the energy of the World Cup, where it's like so like most of the people that are there are, especially when when it's not in America and everything, are such just die-hard fans of the people that they're rooting for. We're like, there's so many casuals at the Super Bowl now. It's just like people don't care, and I'm just like the World Cup has such a different energy about it. So I don't know. All right, you're going Super Bowl, Ryan?
I know. I think I got to go World Cup. I think the Super Bowl happens every year. The World Cup doesn't, and especially like if we're talking about like things that I would want to go to, I'm assuming kind of in my mind that it's like easy to get to, or it's like in the US or whatever for whatever reason. And that to me is like, if it's there and it's Nigeria versus like Botswana, I don't care. Like I really want to like go see that game regardless.
I'm with Ryan. We're putting the World Cup through onto the finals.
Someone had to represent the U.S. in this argument. Someone had to do it.
Had to.
If this goes on TikTok, goes international, I'm gonna get flamed. But that's okay.
And then on the other side of the bracket, the Winter Olympics versus the Summer Olympics.
Summer Olympics, dog walk. The Winter Olympics,
dog walk.
Dog walk is
heinous.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, come on now. Come on. What about curling?
What about it?
Facts.
Fair. Robbie, what were you going to say?
It is the Summer Olympics, but I do love the Winter Olympics. I remember like it's not the same, but I remember like anytime the X Games was on, the Winter X Games, I'm always tuning in every time. There's a different energy about it.
What's also like? I think that the Summer Olympics, in terms of the countries actually competing, I feel like is more of the appeal. Where the Winter Olympics, I feel like just cool stuff is happening. Like people are doing 720s in the air off snowboards and everything like that. Like that's cooler. But I do understand the competition aspect of the Summer Olympics.
I would say, the competition is better in summer, but like just for the theatrics,
yes.
The Winter Olympics is probably higher.
Sure.
Dude, I still remember like it was badass when it was in Vancouver in like 2012, and they had the huge dome that they built for the Olympics and like the fireworks shooting off. I don't know, the Olympics, the winter one just brings a different vibe, but I think in person, like from a competition aspect, I would probably agree that summer.
Yeah, no, I mean like watching like the skeleton or like whatever that like some of those like luges or whatever, are
so
just going so nuclear fast. It's crazy.
Yeah. In our finals of the best sporting event to attend in person, we have the World Cup versus the Summer Olympics.
Once again, we go chalk in the finals.
1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2.
We're not that creative.
No, we were unfortunately chalk into the semifinals.
Yes, indeed.
Like this is we gotta change it up next time, fellas. We gotta get some hot takes.
I just gotta see differently. I gotta see less good. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna go chalk here though.
Oh,
going Olympics.
Here's the way I think about it. There's soccer in the Summer Olympics.
I'm there. You sold me.
I could see a lot of other sports at the same time, a lot of other athletes competing, different competitions. I can still see the best soccer players in the world in the Olympics. That's not a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I will feel good about chanting USA at the Summer Olympics. We won't get a chance to chant USA at the World Cup.
That's a great argument. I like that argument a lot. All right, we're putting Summer Olympics as the winner of the best sporting event to attend in person. A slight upset, especially to our international friends. That's going to be, they're going to take some.
It's still international. They're fine.
True.
Yeah,
that's very true. All right, that is our episode for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Robbie, do you want to sign us out?
Absolutely. For myself, Ryan O'Connor, thank you again for listening to the podcast. Go like, subscribe, comment, give us hate mail on all social media.
Convicts versus Catholics, right?
If you're a Notre Dame fan, make sure you tune in to the podcast too. We'll have some more bad takes for you. I have a personal vendetta, even more than I did against Notre Dame previously.
Yeah,
but thank you again for listening. Please gamble responsibly.